Biomed, Nexus Daily Updates, your essential biotech, medtech, and pharma recap. No noise, just what matters. TLDR. The Supreme Court ruled to maintain Mifepristone access while litigation continues, according to Biopharma Dive. The drug can still be prescribed at pharmacies or by mail without requiring in-person visits. The Fifth Circuit's nationwide dispensing restrictions remain blocked. The FDA approved AstraZeneca, Daiichi Sankyo's Enhertu, trastuzumab deruxtecan for both neoadjuvant and adjuvant treatment of HER2-positive early breast cancer on May 16th, based on the DESTINY-Breast11 and DESTINY-Breast05 Phase 3 trials. This marks a major expansion of the ADC modality into the early curative intent breast cancer setting. The FDA approved a Tecentriq Roche Genentech label expansion alongside Natera's Signatera as a companion diagnostic on May 15th, marking one of the most significant regulatory validations of ctDNA-based minimal residual disease (MRD) testing in oncology. Anthropic announced a 4-year partnership with the Gates Foundation focused on vaccines, disease modeling, and health system operations in lower-income countries. Foundayo maintenance data showed patients sustained most of their weight loss after switching to either Foundayo or lower-dose Zepbound from injectable incretin therapies. Executive takeaway 3 stories from the weekend reshape their respective markets. First, the Supreme Court's Mifepristone ruling resolves the near-term regulatory uncertainty we have been tracking since the Fifth Circuit decision on May 1st. Access is preserved while litigation continues. The precedent question whether courts can override FDA dispensing decisions remains unresolved on the merits, but the immediate disruption is over. Second, Enhertu's approval in early breast cancer is a landmark for the ADC modality. ADCs have been transforming metastatic oncology for years, but this approval brings the modality into the curative early-stage setting for breast cancer. The DESTINY-Breast11 and Breast05 data established Enhertu's role both before and after surgery. For Daiichi Sankyo, which just announced a $14 billion oncology revenue target by 2030, this is the kind of label expansion that moves the franchise toward that goal. For Gilead's 5B2 acquisition and the broader ADC pipeline, it validates that the modality can extend beyond late-stage disease. Third, the Tecentriq Signatera approval is the diagnostic story we have been waiting for. Natera's ctDNA-based MRD test is now an FDA-approved companion diagnostic for a checkpoint inhibitor, creating a template for biomarker-driven treatment decisions in adjuvant oncology. This is the most concrete commercial validation of liquid biopsy technology in 2026. Read Full Analysis, What to Watch, RBC Global Healthcare Conference, tomorrow, May 19th. Major Healthcare Investor Conference in New York. Expect strategic updates from large-cap pharma and medtech companies. ASCO, 13 days. Revolution, Medicine's Plenary Session, May 31st. Full phase. 3. Resolute 302 data. Enhertu early breast cancer. Uptake. How quickly oncologists adopt Enhertu in the neoadjuvant setting will determine whether the drug's revenue trajectory bends upward toward Daiichi Sankyo's $14 6B 2030 target. Signatera commercial expansion. With FDA companion diagnostic approval in hand, Natera can now market Signatera as a treatment decision tool alongside Tecentriq. Watch for additional companion diagnostic approvals with other checkpoint inhibitors. China Decree. Number 834. STAT reported that China issued sweeping new regulations, giving Beijing power to investigate and sanction foreign companies whose commercial decisions are deemed to harm China's industrial chain security. This has direct implications for every Western pharma company with Chinese partnerships. Policy and Regulatory Supreme Court preserves Mifepristone access, the Supreme Court ruled to maintain access to Mifepristone while litigation continues, according to Biopharma Dive. The drug can still be prescribed at pharmacies or by mail without requiring in-person visits. The Fifth Circuit's May 1st ruling reinstating nationwide in-person dispensing requirements remains blocked. This resolves the immediate access disruption we have tracked since Alito's administrative stay on May 4th. The underlying legal question, whether federal courts can override FDA dispensing decisions, remains unresolved and could return to the court on the merits. Clinical and research updates. Enhertu, approved for early breast cancer in landmark ADC expansion, AZN, DSNKY, the FDA approved Enhertu, trastuzumab deruxtecan, on May 16th for both neoadjuvant and adjuvant treatment of HER2-positive early breast cancer, based on the Phase 3 DESTINY-Breast11 neoadjuvant and DESTINY-Breast05 adjuvant trials. This marks a landmark expansion of the ADC modality into the early curative intent breast cancer setting. The approval significantly expands Enhertu's addressable market from metastatic disease to the much larger early-stage population. Enhertu is co-developed by AstraZeneca and Daiichi Sankyo and is already the world's leading ADC franchise. Foundayo maintenance, data support. Long-term dosing strategy. LLY Biospace reported that patients in 2 trials maintained most of their weight loss after switching to either Foundayo or lower-dose Zepbound from other injectable incretin therapies. Lilly is positioning Foundayo as part of a long-term obesity care strategy, with data suggesting patients can sustain weight loss on maintenance doses rather than requiring continuous high-dose therapy. This addresses a key concern in the GLP-1 market, the approximately 65% one-year discontinuation rate observed across the class. Diagnostics Tecentric label expansion with Natera Signatera companion. Diagnostic RHHBY, NTR. The FDA approved a Tecentric atezolizumab label expansion on May 15 alongside Natera's Signatera as a companion diagnostic, according to Fierce Pharma. Signatera uses circulating tumor DNA, ctDNA analysis to detect minimal residual disease, MRD, after surgery, identifying patients who may benefit from adjuvant immunotherapy. This is one of the most significant regulatory validations of liquid biopsy technology in oncology. For Natera, the companion diagnostic approval creates a clear reimbursement pathway and commercial anchor for Signatera beyond its existing laboratory-developed test revenue. For the diagnostics industry, it establishes a template for integrating ctDNA-based MRD testing into treatment algorithms for checkpoint inhibitors. Corporate and business developments. Anthropic partners with Gates Foundation on Global Health. AI Anthropic announced a 4-year partnership with the Gates Foundation focused on vaccines, disease modeling, and health system operations in lower-income countries, according to the Pharma letter. The partnership builds on Anthropic's expanding life sciences footprint, which now includes the 400 mental coefficient bioacquisition, April, Novartis CEO Narasimhan's board appointment, April, and existing partnerships with Sanofi, Novo Nordisk, and AbbVie. This is the first Anthropic partnership focused on global health rather than pharmaceutical R&D, broadening the company's healthcare positioning. China's Decree No. 834 threatens Western pharma operations. STAT reported that China issued Decree No. 834 on April 7th, the regulations on industrial and supply chain security, giving Beijing sweeping new powers to investigate and sanction foreign companies whose commercial decisions are deemed to harm China's industrial chain security. China's 15th five-year plan explicitly designates biotechnology and pharmaceuticals as the centerpiece of its next industrial development phase. The decree has direct implications for Western pharma companies with Chinese partnerships, BMS Hengrui, Lilly Hengrui, via Kailera, AbbVie, Hisco, GSK, Siran Bio, and manufacturing operations. The week in review, May 12th, Monday, BMS Hengrui, 15, 2B partnership, $600 upfront, 13 programs. Isomorphic Labs, $2, 1B series, B, UCB, Candid, Tula, 2B, Macrogenics, Bora, 122, 5M CDMO sale, May 12, Monday. Macquarie resigned as FDA Commissioner. Diamantas named acting. Kennedy confirmed search underway, May 13th and Tuesday. European mid-cap pharma buying US biotechs at accelerating pace. New LDL cholesterol guidelines from AHA, ACC. Bridge Bio ATTR-CM survival signal versus Pfizer. May 14, Wednesday. Biotech leaders pitched Pasteur as next FDA chief. Regan XBO, Duchenne. Gene therapy safety issues, Eliquis 98. 6% revenue collapse projected by 2031. Biogen advancing tau Alzheimer's drug to Phase 3, despite Phase 2 miss. May 15, Thursday. Iran war supply chain disruptions hitting pharma, Evonik 115% prices. Tecentriq Signatera companion diagnostic approved. Anthropic Gates Foundation, 4-year partnership. May 16th, Friday. Enhertu approved for early breast cancer, neoadjuvant plus adjuvant. SCOTUS preserves Mifepristone access. The week ahead. Tomorrow, May 19th, RBC Global Healthcare Conference, New York. Late May, Commerce. Section 232 report on medical devices expected. May 29th, FDA RTCT public comment period. Closes May 29 to June the 2nd. ASCO annual meeting, Chicago. May 31st, ASCO plenary. Rasolute 302 full data, RVMD. June 4th, Jefferies Global Healthcare Conference, New York. Read. Full analysis Biomed. Nexus Pro institutional intelligence brief ADCs move into curative oncology. Enhertu's early breast cancer approval is a category-defining moment for the ADC modality. Until now, ADCs have been approved almost exclusively in the metastatic, incurable setting, where they extend survival but rarely cure disease. Moving into neoadjuvant and adjuvant treatment means ADCs are now being used with curative intent in patients whose cancers can potentially be eliminated entirely. The implications extend beyond Enhertu. Gilead's 5B Tubulis acquisition and 7-8B Arcellx deal, Lilly's 300 Mentor Crossbridge acquisition, and the dozens of ADC programs in clinical development all gain validation from this approval. If ADCs work in early breast cancer, the modality will be tested in early-stage lung cancer, colorectal cancer, gastric cancer, and other solid tumors. Each early-stage label expansion dramatically increases the addressable patient population relative to the metastatic setting. For Daiichi Sankyo, this approval is the most important step toward its $14.6 billion oncology revenue target by 2030. Enhertu's metastatic breast cancer and lung cancer indications generate significant revenue. Adding early breast cancer, where the patient volume is substantially larger, could push the drug toward true mega-blockbuster status. Signatera, the liquid biopsy template. Natera's Signatera has been used as a laboratory-developed test for several years. The companion diagnostic approval with Tecentriq elevates it to a fundamentally different commercial position. Now, Signatera is an FDA-approved part of the treatment algorithm. Patients test positive for ctDNA after surgery, and the test result directly informs the decision to prescribe Tecentriq. This creates a reimbursement pathway that is cleaner than the laboratory-developed test model. It also creates a template that other checkpoint inhibitor manufacturers, Merck, Keytruda, BMS, Opdivo, will want to replicate with their own companion diagnostic partnerships. If Signatera or competing ctDNA platforms become standard companion diagnostics across multiple checkpoint inhibitors, the addressable market for liquid biopsy in adjuvant oncology could exceed several $billion. For the diagnostic sector, which we have covered lightly in this series, this is the story that matters most in 2026. Watch for additional companion diagnostic filings from Natera and competitors, Guardant Health, Foundation Medicine, Exact Sciences. China Decree 834, the new regulatory risk decree. Number 834 gives Beijing authority to investigate foreign companies whose commercial decisions harm China's industrial chain security. The definition of harm is broad and deliberately vague. For Western pharma companies with Chinese partnerships, the risk is that China could use this decree to pressure companies into maintaining or expanding their Chinese operations, even when geopolitical considerations, Biosecure Act, Section 232 tariffs, push in the opposite direction. Companies most exposed include those with significant China licensing deals, BMS Hengrui 15 Dong, 2B, Lilly Hengrui via Kailera, Abvai, Hisco, GSK, Serum Bio, and those with Chinese manufacturing dependencies. The decree does not create immediate disruption, but it adds a new variable to the geopolitical calculus that every BD team and board of directors must now factor into China-related decisions. Catalyst calendar, May 2026. Forward date, event tickers. Tomorrow RBC Global Healthcare Conference, New York. Multiple late May commerce. Section 232 report on medical devices expected MDT, BSX, SYK, ISRGMA 29 FDA RTCT public comment period closes in the May 29 to June. 2 ASCO annual meeting, Chicago. Multiple May 31 ASCO plenary, Rasolute 302, full data RVMD June. 4 Jefferies, Global Healthcare Conference, New York. Multiple late Q2 Lilly Foundeo, T2D filing under CNPV, if program continues. LLY TBD FDA, Permanent Commissioner nominee. Expected N, A June 2026 Takeda. CEO transition, Julie Kim. TAC July, E1 Medicare. GLP-1 bridge program launches, LLY. Envia Q3 2026 Teva. Emalex. Close expected Teva July. 31 section. 232 pharma tariffs effective, large companies. Multiple H2 2026 Foundeo. T2D regulatory action expected LLY H2 2026 Lilly. Kelonia. Close expected LLY H2 2026 Ajax. Proof of concept data. Expected LLY H2 2026 Revolution. Medicines CNPV NDA filing. Expected RVMD mid-2026. Lilly Retatrutide Phase 3 obesity readouts. Triumph program. LYS-Sept 19 Ultragenics UX1011 PDUFA Sanfilippo Type A gene therapy. Ray-Sept 29 Section 232 pharma tariffs. Effective, all other companies. Multiple deck. 7 Lilly Investment Community Meeting LLY. Visit the Pro. Hub Read, full article, limited ASCO week sponsorship slots available, May 29th, June 2nd. Reach 65,000 plus professionals during the biggest oncology event of the year. Learn more. Is your company listed in the Biomed Nexus directory? 2104 companies across 14 categories. Claim or upgrade your listing. Sponsorship slots for 2026 are limited. See packages and pricing. New Biomed Nexus signals, weekly sales intelligence for life sciences, BD teams. Learn more.